Hi and hello. If you are new around here, hi for the first time. And if you are not, hi in a very long time. So I haven't filmed a video and I think I was looking at it, I think it was 8 months ago. It has been a whirlwind of a year. We are coming to the end of our homeschool year and it has just been, it's been a year. So there has been much that I can attest to God's goodness and faithfulness, and so I'm thankful for that. But there have been a lot of challenges, and I am excited to move into our next school year as we are just 1 month away from closing out our school year. So first of all, if you are new around here, hi, my name is Brittany. I am a homeschool mom to 4 kids, and we talk all things homeschool, mainly around here, and a little bit of homemaking. But the past year, we have been dealing with what feels like kind of one thing after another. So really the big thing, the last video I posted was I was staying with family because we had mold in our house. And this is really going to be mostly a life update and then a little bit of a homeschool update, and then I'll get back to regular scheduled content after this. But we were there for 2 whole months while we were waiting for our house to get fixed. So you can see we are back home, but we have, it was very challenging. It was a great test of faith and a great test for our marriage, and being separated for so long because my husband stayed with the house and was dealing with the contractors and stuff. But it has really given me such a faith in the Lord and in his timing and in his provision. And so I'm thankful for the lessons that we learned. So I will give you a rundown of kind of what happened. So last year we found out that there was a leak in our chimney and it caused mold. You can see actually over in here, back behind this direction, we had full built-ins that are clearly no longer there. We also had a chimney back there that is also clearly no longer there. So, or the fireplace, obviously the chimney's the up part, the fireplace the down. And so we had a fireplace back there, but it is no longer there. So we had a leak in our chimney, and when we removed the built-ins and pulled that, it was just full brick back there. We had that removed, and we found it was mainly one board down at the bottom. The way that these builders built this house like 50 years ago, it was so strange. Even our contractor came and was looking at how it was built, and sorry, I have parakeets, and so hopefully they won't be too loud during the video. I have them covered, so hopefully they'll go take a nap. But the builder or our contractor was even saying how strange it was, just the way that they had built up this hearth, and it didn't make any sense. But the good thing was that it caused the water to travel in a way that it only hit this one board, the one at the very bottom, and it didn't touch the rest of the framing. So the framing was completely intact. The board was non-structural, so it was able to just be removed. Now here's the really crazy part, is that none of this was going to be covered by insurance. We talked to a couple of different contractors, and they kept saying that it wasn't gonna be able to be covered. And so we didn't have the money to take care of it. But these contractors, it just kept falling through. We would be in touch with them, and they would come out and they'd give us a quote, and then for some reason it just wouldn't work out. They wouldn't call us back. And then we went through 3 different contractors before we found somebody, and this contractor was telling us that they were pretty sure that they could get insurance to cover it, that insurance would cover it. And my husband told them, no, we talked to other contractors and they said they didn't think they would. And she was like, no, I think that insurance will cover this. And so sure enough, she sent in the request and it was covered. It was covered fully. So we didn't have to pay a dime. They came out and they ripped out our entire chimney, and we have got it all cleaned up, and they like removed everything. They put up the new wall and got it all done, and it was completely covered. And so it was so hard for me as somebody who tends to not be able to wait on the Lord, and I constantly want to rush his plans. And so I try to fix things myself or do things myself. And it was such a lesson to me of waiting on God to bring things about, and trust my husband and trust the whole process. And I was so hands off. I was literally moved to a different location an hour away for 2 months. I couldn't do anything, and it was so hard for me, but it was such a blessing because I needed to learn that lesson. And so now it has given me such an amazing perspective. And as we continue to walk through different things, just normal things in life, it's amazing to have that perspective and to be able to look back to his faithfulness through all of that. You know, I look at those circumstances, and I think we all do, or we all should, and just be reminded when we're going through things, God was faithful then, and he'll be faithful now, and he'll be faithful forever. And so that was just something I wanted to share, because God was so good, and he would have been good even if he hadn't covered it, because he's always good. But it was such a grace and such a blessing. And so now homeschool stuff. So I'm really excited because if you've been following me for a while, you know that my heart has always been for classical education. And I've always kind of integrated it in. I thought that I was a Charlotte Mason homeschooler, and then I just couldn't figure out how. I loved the ideas behind Charlotte Mason, but I just couldn't let go of some of the rigorous stuff that I really wanted to do that led me more towards traditional. And then I found classical, and I'm like, this is it. This is such exactly what I want. It's my heart for homeschool. But for the past 2 years, I've been so scared to take that full dive in. And so I've been like keeping some traditional and some Charlotte Mason, and kind of like sprinkling some, sprinkling some classical ideas in here and there. And then middle of this past year, I felt led to just make that switch. And so we made a lot of changes in our homeschool that truly just embraced what I was trying to do without actually doing it. And now we are fully classical. Our homeschool is fully classical. And it's hard and it's rigorous, but it's so good. It's so good. It's everything I wanted school to be. And I feel very confident in what we're doing. The kids kind of struggled a little bit because it was a more intensive way of schooling than we were used to, but that only lasted for maybe the first month or two. And then as they settled into things running a little differently, they have started to really blossom and flourish. And the things that we were struggling with before, there are still some struggles, but a lot of it is starting to tamper down. And I hate to be like pie in the sky, but it's all of my hopes and dreams. And so it really is, though. It's how I have wanted to homeschool, and I'm really excited because I do feel like we're there. And so I'm gonna do a full video on kind of going back to the curriculum that we originally chose for this year, and what we ended up on, and why the changes happened, and what we did instead, and the things that we loved and the things that we hated. And I'm going to go student by student and kind of give a rundown on that. So those will be my next videos. And then I will also have very, very soon, I have all of the curriculum for my bottom 3 kids. My oldest, who will be going into 11th grade next year, we are making some changes with him because he has made some changes on me. And so I also have just a lot of ideas for content that I want to put out, just some ideas and musings and thoughts on homeschooling with high school ages and homeschooling, multiple children, because we are currently homeschooling 4 because my youngest is preschool now. And so we are fully in for homeschooling 4 kids with a various range of ages, and making transitions into classical education and all of that kind of stuff. So I do still have some ideas with homemaking amidst the chaos of life, amidst the chaos of homeschooling, because it is a very unique thing. Everybody I talk to who has never been home with kids all the time, and especially been home with kids who are with you all the time, like when you're homeschooling, it is so much harder to keep that house clean and do all of the things, because there are you're homeschooling and then the toddler's in the other room making a mess, and lots more dirt's being tracked in because kids are outside more because we're home all day. So it's a very unique time, and so it takes a lot of work. And so I'm not an expert at it, but I'm going to share the things that are working for me. And so I hope you will stick around for the journey. That is all that I am going to call this. I am no longer trying to dive into parenting advice. I have none. Anybody who's watching this, if you're in the thick of it, I'm right there with you. I'm learning. I have no great counsel to give when it comes to parenting. I feel like there are so many other people who have kids who have moved out and have the experience to share, to be considered the experts. What I am trying to do on this channel is just share this journey of homeschooling, this journey of motherhood, what I'm learning as I'm learning it, what I'm doing when I have to make a change. And if you're willing to come along with me and watch me make my mistakes and learn alongside with me, then I would love to have you. So with that, I think that is all that I have to share as far as an update goes, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.